Good morning, mate. Mark Schneider here. Now, today I didn't think I was going to film because I was like, oh, I'll just dig a hole and that's all I'll do today. And I dug the hole, then I started putting the pole in, and then I started doing more and more work. And I was like, okay, before I get too ahead of myself, maybe I should film. So for you guys who don't know, because this is the first video of me talking about this, I'm going to be building a garage right here. If you've known past videos on the channel, this is my workshop. I have worked out of here and done a lot of stuff. All of my tools are around me. There's the one truck, there's two truck, lawnmowers, a lot of crap everywhere. The type of garage I am building is not something of like high standard cement flooring, all that type of stuff. What I'm building is typically just a old-fashioned farmer's dirt floor shed. I am putting 6 poles. 4 of these poles already existed before because, here, I'll give a little history actually on this building. This building originally was in front of the property as the town store. Then what a previous owner did was they took up the building and they dropped it here. They must have used it for storage or something like that. Then what they did is they turned it into a chicken coop. That's why these poles are up and there's chicken wire. They used it as a chicken coop. Then flashback to when we bought the property, we didn't do anything with the shed. Later on, we built this corral for the horses and turned it into a barn. Soon after that, we stopped using the corral and the shed as a barn, so never got used. Then, caught up to date, a couple years ago, I redid the roof and I cut the hole in the side because my original plan was still to build the garage. And I started using it as my workshop. I started storing tools in it and I started fixing it up more and more. Now to today. I gotta take these corral boards off of my main post. I gotta nail a nail on top of all of them, put a post. This post is one of the original posts that were just left here, which is the same post as the other 5. So it's one of the original posts that were never put in the ground. So I now put it in the ground. So I just dug a 2.5 foot hole in the ground. Now the exclamation is done, let me just show you. Dug 2.5 feet down, pole is in. The reason the pole is staying sturdy is I filled it in a little bit and pounded it down. So that's the poles. As you can tell, this is one of the original. It's got a crack in here, but it's not all the way through. It's just weathering. It's where the wood would have normally. It's not a crack through the wood. It's just where the lines of the tree of the age were. So it's fine. I measured how much it had to go in the ground, so that's how much it's in the ground. I put it on both sides because this side was the better side. I wanted this one up. But as you can tell from the texture of the pole, it's rounded and flat on each side. It's an original pole that was here. So it is one of the original poles. I gotta sturdy these poles up, make them straight and even. But right now, started knocking this off, cleaning up some of the weeds that have been sitting here because I don't walk down this side much. And I need to get rid of these poles because this is our old horse corral that we haven't used in like a decade. And here, I just built this. I just finally, after a year, I cut the hole out a year ago and I didn't do anything and I had to cut a beam. So I had to put in a header and studs. It's not proper, but this is a farm shed. This shed was not fully built proper. So I can get away with some things because it's not a proper building. It's not all of that. It's not a proper building. So I'm not building things up to code like you probably should be if you're going to build a garage or any types. But the structure I'm building, as you can see, pole, 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 pole. That's another pole that I'm going to be using because there were poles that were left here to go in this corner. The difference with that pole is shorter, so only about a foot is going in the ground versus all of these poles have 2.5 to 3 feet of the pole is in the ground, and that makes them sturdy. Even though I can kind of move it because the ground's become soft, and especially last winter, a lot of even our fence posts that we've had to nail them back in because the frost kind of pushed them out and loosened them. So I gotta put all of my truck parts in the back of the dump truck again because they're in the way and I don't want them to sit there while I'm building and climbing. I gotta remove this stump that's decided to regrow into all these little bush sprouts. And then I gotta tie a string to each one, top of each one, and measure it out. I might have to make a notch out of the roof here and cut these a bit short. That's fine, and the building is slightly sinking in that corner, because it's been here for 60 years maybe. So on not a foundation, just on the dirt. Yeah, this building should be less likely to sink, and it should actually hold this building up maybe a little bit more. But there's nothing really I can do about that. That's fine. That's fine. Technically, these buildings are not going to be supporting off of each other, but they are going to be connected so there's no rain.
Went out tonight just to have a good time. I tried to distract myself from thinking too much, but when I saw you, I went back to the start. Whoa, and there's just no resisting when I see your face. Can't stop myself from moving your way. There must be a
now that this is all cleared out, I'm not moving my hoods. The 54 GMC hood we're actually going to use above the doorway in the future for a future video, hopefully, the goal. The 172 hood I don't know what I'm going to do with. The 67 hood's going on the C10, and the rest of the parts. I had a lot of truck parts. Had a whole front clip from a grain truck that I didn't use. Let's start tearing this down.
Our friends just roll their eyes and say, here we go again. The story never ends. Oh, the story never ends. Give me a sign before it's too late. I don't wanna fall and make the same mistake. Oh, you know it's no good for us. This toxic love, but there's so much temptation running through my veins. I couldn't stop it if I tried to anyway. There must be a reason we end up
we're gonna have to call it a day today and continue with the destruction tomorrow. So now it's another day. It's actually been a couple days. It wasn't exactly yesterday that I did everything else, because it's been raining out. It's all wet, and also I've been busy. Yeah, so we're gonna continue the rest of the demolition. I gotta take down, as you can see, all this fence along the back. I'm taking down the whole fence, so this is gonna take a while, so let's just get started. Well, that took almost 3 hours. That took about 3 hours. Fence is down. Now all you can see is my workshop and no fence line. So as you can see, there is poles all laying on the ground there, all the way around that far tree, and then all here. This corral, because originally, the story with this workshop, it was originally the town store, the small town that we're in. Then the guy, whoever moved it here, either used it as a storage shed or wherever, then turned it into a chicken coop. We used it for storage. We turned it into a barn, because that's why all this fence is here. There originally wasn't any door here. You can tell the horses knocked off the top header, and I put a new one on, and I put a door back on. We haven't used this corral in about 10 years. We fixed it up about last year. We did fix it, and then more trees fell and wrecked the corners, and the corners collapsed because trees fell on it. 1, we don't use it anymore. 2, we're sick and tired of repairing it because there's no more dead trees standing, so no more trees should fall on it, but we're also sick and tired of putting money into something that we're not going to use. I decided to take it down, as well as the dump truck, the C10, they're all going to be parked here. This is now, this space, I have enough room now to park about 3 to 6 vehicles. As well as, this space has always been my space. We're setting up a little temporary shed here. That's what's to come, so and I can park the quad and the lawnmowers and everything. So there's progress being made. It's just a lot of work to do by yourself. And man, do I wish I had someone to help. Now, I did start doing some cleanup, but I'm not worried about the cleanup. Actually, probably tomorrow I'm gonna do some cleanup off camera because you don't need to see me do that. Right now, I'm gonna climb the roof and we're going to take off all these screws, put these boards up, because this garage I'm building, the roofs are going to be connected. You can already see I cut the stud there. I have to cut the stud right here because I'm gonna just fill this in probably with, I don't know, something, put a piece of plywood over it and then fill it in with foam or something. I know this is not perfect. I know I'm using an old building with some old poles and kind of a shed slash garage type build. It's going to be a lean-to shed pretty much. The reason for this is One, I'm not throwing a lot of money into this because there's no point in throwing a bunch of money into this with a dirt floor and stuff like that. It's just maybe a workspace for me to work in while I'm here. Two, like, it's just a workspace. It is a temporary growth. I don't have a lot of money to go and do a full build from bottom up, workshop and garage. This is all the money I have for, and even this is stretching it. This is just a place for me to start. A place for me saying, like, come this winter or something, I can work on the truck without having to worry. As well, there's no room in the house to put my tools. I have 4 toolboxes on this property. 1, 2, 3 are in here. One's in the house, and the one toolbox that I'm borrowing from my father is going to school. Plus that, with all of my tools, all of the trucks, all the truck parts, I'm going to be building a work table to go in here. There's not enough room in the house for all of this. So I need a space. This would be a good temporary. You can see I already have tools hanging up on the wall. The hatchet, the saw, a random tire iron. My level. Giant brand new. Oh, I guess you guys haven't seen this. I just bought this. This toolbox was about 65% off. So instead of spending $1,200 on a toolbox, I only spent $550 on this entire unit, both the top and bottom. It's wide as hell. Like, these are pretty standard fit-in drawers, like slide-in drawers. They're pretty standard to most toolboxes for a bottom cart. Look, I have way more extra room, and I have way more drawers. Like, a lot of these drawers are still empty. That's the crazy part. Like, I have so many. I've had these tools in these cardboard boxes forever. Literally forever. And like, what's the point in having tools that then I have to take out of a cardboard box, then I gotta take off the plastic cover, then I gotta bring them out? Like, one, I'm working out here anyways. Two, it's nicer to have them out here because I'm working out here with them. And then when I pull a vehicle into this garage space in the future, not the C10 frame, any vehicle, I can literally pop the hood up right there, grab my tool and start working. We are going to put a small little round, I'm going to custom build like a little wood stove to go in this corner and up. It's going to be very small. It's not going to be huge or anything like that. It's pretty much going to be a pipe or a little tiny barrel that I just fill with fire just to keep me heat in the winter. And then insulation, I'm actually going to be, you guys will see in the future, I'm going to be using a very, very, very cheap insulation.
Took your time to get here, tell me what you want. I know what you're thinking, are we really on? Tell me how it feels and baby, come on.
So you might be wondering why I have to take out that stud and lift all these up. Like I said, we have to cut all of these short. I'm going to have to re-put in the boards that were laying here. I'm going to have to put them right here and re-drill it down. Then I have to bend all of these up, saying it will be a U. It will be a little U when it hits the roof so it can slope down. So I'm going to go for dinner, and then when I come back, we'll cut all these clean. Also, if you're wondering how I was getting up and down here, the backside of a pallet makes the perfect temporary ladder. Now time for some fun. Before I do this, I want to say thank you for, like, I'm not sponsored at all, but all my tools, I don't know if you've noticed, all my tools are Mastercraft. I recommend it. I love Mastercraft. It's not that expensive. Lifetime warranty, 3-year warranty on electricals. Like, I've never had a problem. I use them all the time. I love their tools. My toolbox, my brand new toolbox I showed you earlier is a Mastercraft. Like, it works, it's affordable, and it's like really good quality actually.
See you now coming, taking me on. Take me to the deep end, ride and jump on. Tell me how it feels and baby, come on.
That is way faster and way nicer than a stupid handsaw that you saw me earlier in the video do over there. I am so glad between then and now I bought this. This is awesome. So that's it for this video. As you can see, we started off with not having this, me setting up some poles, me destroying the old chicken coop, me destroying the corral, and then me cutting off part of my roof. That's where we're going to leave it off today because this is just the start of the deconstruction. I'll bring you guys along next time because next time we should be building the beams that will go across here, making sure this is all even, and setting these poles in permanently for their place. Until then, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Subscribe if you want to see, and hit that bell notification button if you want to be notified when the next video comes out. Like, I need you guys to smash that like button. Like, if you actually do enjoy this video, if you're watching till now, hit the like. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Follow your dreams. Peace.